Hi friends, it's Miss Lorraine. I'm here just to give you a little update on our chick eggs. We're getting there, getting pretty close to our countdown. We have, what number is this? 11. We have 11 days to go. I'm taking a number off every day. And here our eggs are doing good in the incubator. Miss Lorraine keeps opening it and turning them and turning them and turning them. And the temperature's holding at 102. So we're starting to get ready for our chicks to come. So I want to show you this little booklet, and it's called Chick Life Cycle. So you can see exactly what is happening inside those eggs that we're incubating and keeping nice and warm. Cheep, cheep, cheep. This booklet is going to tell you all about chicks and chickens. A baby chicken is called a chick, and an adult chicken, the female, the girl, is the hen, and the male or the boy is the rooster. So remember I told you these came from my chicken farmer friend, and these are special eggs, and on his farm he has hens and roosters, mummies and daddies. So that's why some of these eggs might have baby chicks inside. These are pictures of 7 different kinds of chickens. Did you know that there are over 100 different kinds of chickens? Wow. All different breeds. Each kind of chicken is called a different breed of chicken. And chickens, if they're the same breed, they would all have the same color feathers and the same design, the same colors, the same markings of a certain breed of chicken. So we don't know. Our eggs are all kind of different in there, and we just don't know what kind of chickens we might get. This is showing the parts of a chicken. Little tail feathers. See the little wings starting to grow? Claws. They have a beak. This underneath their chin, that little red, that's called a wattle. And up top there is called their comb. Here it is, a comb and a wattle. Both hens and roosters have red combs and wattles, but chickens don't start off looking like this. When they're little, they don't have these big combs and wattles when they're a baby chick. Let's see what they're going to look like. What's happening inside that egg? So first, there's the hen. That's the mom. She's laying some eggs. They lay 1 or 2 eggs a day in the nest. Now remember I told you these are my special eggs. These are not the kind of eggs we're going to eat like come from the grocery store. These are special eggs, so there might be something happening inside. Day 1, if this is an egg with a baby chick growing, it just starts off as a tiny little spot. That's the beginning of a baby chick. And then 5 days into it, there's the baby chick growing, and you can see all of these little red. This is like inside the egg, like if we had an x-ray machine and we x-rayed inside the egg. All these little red veins, that is what's bringing the food to the baby chick. We have veins in our bodies too. If you look on your arms, Miss Lorraine, you might be able to see some of my veins on my arms inside. We have veins in our bodies that go all the way from the top of our head down to our toes. And it pumps when your heart beats and pumps the blood up to your head, all the way down to your toes, back up, out to your fingers, down your arms, back up to your brain, down to your toes. Your blood pumps all around because in your blood are a lot of good vitamins and things that you need to help your body grow. So these veins help bring the good food to the baby chick that's growing inside. Here is still growing inside. I see the eye and a little head. Some feathers may be starting. And when we get close to 21 days, remember we said 21 days, it's almost ready to hatch. Look how big that chick is, all squished up inside the egg. He's almost going to get ready to hatch. And look real careful on the tip of his beak. Can you see that little point? Baby chicks have 1 little tooth when they're first hatched out of the egg. It's called their egg tooth. And after they hatch out, it's going to fall off. But they need that little baby egg tooth because that's how they start pecking the eggshell to make a hole to come out of the egg when they're ready to hatch. So there's the mom sitting on them, keeping them nice and warm, and now we're ready to hatch. So the baby chick is going to start poking and poking with that little egg tooth on top to poke a little hole. And then the baby chick keeps turning in the egg and poking and turning and poking and turning till he cracks the egg all the way around. And then he pushes with the top of his head and he pushes with his little feet. He's going to push and push and push the two pieces of the eggshell apart. And there he is. Welcome to the world. When baby chicks are first born, they're all wet because it's very wet inside the egg. And they're wet and they're so tired from all that work of pecking and pushing and turning and pecking and pushing and turning to get out of the egg. They're so tired. So when our baby chicks are first going to be hatched out of the egg, they're going to be very wet and tired. So they will stay in the incubator where it's nice and warm. They'll rest and they'll sleep, and Miss Lorraine will keep them inside our incubator here. There'll be still some eggs to hatch, but when the chicks start hatching, I'm going to keep them in the nice warm incubator until they're all dried off. Because if I took them out of the incubator when they were wet, they could get freezing, a little chilly and cold, and they could get sick. They could get a cold and get sick. So I'm going to leave our chicks in the incubator, and when they're all fluffy and dried off their feathers, then Miss Lorraine will get a cage set up and we'll move them into a cage. See, there he is. He's starting to dry off a little more. See, when he first hatched out, he's really wet. His feathers are so wet. But in a little while, he's starting to dry. And then after almost one day, there he is, all fluffy. And when they look like this, all fluffy and standing up and running around, they're ready to come out of the incubator. These chicks live on a farm, and they're following their mom and exploring and learning how to eat. And right away, cheep, 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 they learn how to call so their mother can find them. And then in a few weeks, they'll get a little bit bigger. They'll start to have some feathers. You can start to see the little comb and the little wattle starting to grow, the little wing feathers and the little tail feathers. And when they get a little bigger like that, time to go back to the farm because the cage will be too small. So this is the life cycle of how a baby chick grows. So I have a little booklet that you're going to be able to do today or whatever day your mom or dad want to print it off for you. And you can make your own little how does a chick hatch little booklet. All right. So 11 more days and counting. We're almost halfway there, friends. So these are just some pictures. So first we've got the egg. We saw that we had the egg and we're waiting our 21 days. Then, it's 21 days. We're hearing peeps in the eggs. I start to chip around inside my shell. He's going to go all the way around and crack it. Then push, push, push with his little head. Push with his little feet until he pushes the shell apart. Oh, at last I'm free. I hatched. Look at how tired and wet he is. And in about 1 hour, starting to pick his head up and he's drying. There he is at 3 days, 3 days old. He looks like this little guy, 3 days. 8 days old, getting taller. Look at that big tall neck. 2 weeks, that's about 14 days. Oh, I see his wing feathers coming in. And 1 whole month old. And there's 2 months old, all grown up, ready to go to the farm. All right, I'll keep you updated, friends. Thanks for joining me. Bye.